interesting because it happened in a way that no television pilot ever gets cast. You know, as a writer, creator of a show, you write a script. If you're lucky enough to have it picked up and you make it, then you try to cast the characters. Maybe you knew some of the actors you were writing for. In the case of Lost, when Lloyd Braun, the executive who was in charge of drama at the time at the network, thought of this crazy island show called Lost, and they had a script written that didn't turn out the way he hoped it would, and no one liked it. No one wanted to make it that pilot season. Lloyd said, there's only one person I know who could make this into something that I know in my gut can be huge. And he went to JJ. JJ and I were developing another show at the time, which was writing, and I was going to direct the pilot. And Lloyd said, we'll do that other show, just do this for me. You've got to do this for me. And JJ thought about it, he was intrigued by the idea, and he said, but the only way I'll do it is if I get someone to write it with, who will write it with me, and then if the show goes, they can run it. And Lloyd said, sure, that's fine. And somebody named Heather at the studio knew this young writer named Damon Lindelof, who was on a show called Crossing Jordan. And Damon Lindelof came to meet J.J. Abrams on a Friday thinking he was going to be asked to join next season his favorite show on television, Alias. And was so excited about meeting JJ and going, oh my God, I'm going to meet the brilliant JJ and get to write on Alias next year. But JJ presented him with this other idea, and Damon went, okay, well, let me think about it. And they came back the following Monday, got together, spent 3 hours together, kicking around the ideas Damon had thought about, and before they knew it, they started writing. The point being, that's a long build up to the casting process, which was, they were writing, that was what, 3 weeks before they started shooting? It was like 3 weeks before they started filming. So what would happen is they had Lloyd Braun wanted it to be an international cast. He always saw Lost as, Lloyd is somebody who is still producing, and his idea is that the international marketplace really matters. So he really wanted it to be a multi-ethnic, multi-nationality, and diverse international cast. So what happened was, there would be, Yoon Jin Kim had a contract with ABC. So she came in and met with him. In the script, there was no Korean woman in. And they went, oh my God, she's great, we've got to use her, but maybe she should have a husband and they don't speak English. So this was happening while they were writing. So they wrote the Korean couple, and then JJ saw Curb Your Enthusiasm one night where Jorge Garcia was selling Dodger tickets and went with Larry David and said, I just saw the greatest guy I've ever seen in my life. He speaks in superlatives. And said, we've got to have this guy in the show. So they met Jorge Garcia and they wrote Hurley. Jack Shepherd, Matt Fox originally read for Sawyer, and in the original pilot, Jack Shepherd died. Because they were smart enough to say, you can't save the doctor because the doctor will be able to save everybody, so you've got to kill off the one guy. They're always thinking, how do we do it unexpectedly? We got to kill off the doctor. Well, Matthew Fox became the doctor, and thankfully they didn't kill off the doctor. So the whole point is that there was a organic process to the casting as opposed to a script that's written for a young George Clooney, and then everybody goes out looking for the same young George Clooney, and guess what? There isn't one, because he's George Clooney. So that's, I think, one of the reasons we have such a remarkably unique and talented group of actors. They wrote to the actors they wanted to work with, which is cool, huh?
Cool that I even dare to say that the original casting is so much more powerful than